Dale.
lo que
Ok,
pensamos.
perfecto. Dale.
Okay, okay. I'm Ana Victoria Torres, and this is Glossip Girls. Glossip is the pop culture, reality TV, and celebrity chisme that gives us a glow. Every week, we break down the stories everyone is talking about and decide whether they're a glow or a no glow. Before we get into the summer house aftermath and how Amanda makes my blood boil, some info. We are now dropping English episodes covering all things Bravo. Make sure you're following the podcast right now so you don't miss anything. For listeners in the US, we drop our recaps the next morning after episodes there over there. So, friendo y comiendo. We are the first thing in the morning Bravo recap. So, there you go. You're welcome. And thanks to a very convenient difference time difference between France and the US. So during the summer house off season, I'll be recapping all the Bravo shows. I just released an episode talking about Southern hospitality with Vanessa from Real Moms of Bravo. So make sure to check that one out. And I'm especially excited today because we're setting ourselves free from the prison that is Summer House, the aftermath, and all of this. And I'm joining me again for a third time is Daniela Cadena, host of the podcast Clashes. Daniela is one of my favorite voices in the content creator space. She has the best takes on food, restaurants, but also she's one of us. She's a Bravo lover, a garbage person, as some people say. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, make sure to check out her podcast Clashes. The last episode is genius. It's with a reality TV producer, and I really, really enjoy that. And her Substack, this is probably about food, beautiful content coming out in the last few weeks, like the Madrid guide, but also some deep emotional stuff about postpartum. And just guys, do yourselves a favor and give her a follow. Thank you for joining me,
Thank
Daniela.
you for that intro, and thank you for having me for a third time. Because I want to talk about this stuff, and I don't know where to put all my thoughts.
That's it. I feel like I was like, oh my God, I can't ask Daniela to do this again.
No,
But
I love it.
when
You're
I
like,
just
I
feel
need to take you to
maternity.
lunch, and I was like, no, I will do this for free. I will do this for anything.
No,
I'll pay you to have me
I
on.
will take you for lunch or dinner, depending on what when I'm in Paris. I was actually gonna
No need.
I was gonna Wero you, but you don't have Wero. Like I couldn't find you. It's this thing where you send money to people. Um,
Oh, no, 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 don't send me money, just keep having me on. That's good enough for me.
God bless you. You're doing the Lord's work. So we just watched the aftermath, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do a little glow or no glow for each
Okay.
section. So first we have Amanda Scamanda and Lindsay Mother Hubbard. Glow or no glow?
Well, the conversation was, for me, kind of a no on Amanda's side, a no glow. On Lindsay's side, I would say a little bit of a glow, though I have some feedback for Lindsay.
I agree. I feel like Amanda, no glow. The girl, she's not taking the notes. She's not putting in the work. I get you're offline, but somebody should be giving you input and feedback about your what we need from you, and she ain't
Yeah.
delivering. And Lindsay, I'm gonna give her a glow because Mother Hubbard was trying, girl. Mother Hubbard
She
was trying
was.
to get the info out, and but it wasn't coming. It wasn't coming.
And she didn't sugarcoat it, which was good.
What I didn't like was, people on threads were riling up against Lindsay because
Yes.
everybody was rejoicing that Wes is not coming back, and she made some posts saying Amanda was manipulated, and she also reiterated that in the conversation, and
Yeah.
people didn't care for that little statement.
That's exactly I agree with that, and that was my feedback for her. Not that she wants it or needs it, but I will say I think the conversation was pretty good. I think Lindsay was very like real with her and was like, "Hey girl, you're fucking up. Like you look stupid. He's embarrassing you." Like she was like even when Amanda started crying, Lindsay was like stone faced and she was like, No, sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way, but you're stupid." Like it was really refreshing to kind of see someone like hold her accountable. But then I didn't like the manipulated word. And I do feel like her and Kyle are very, which is in a way, I think it's good. Like if I was Amanda, obviously I would be very happy with that. But I don't think it's good that they cuddle her and they kind of make her out to be the victim in this because she was a willing participant. Was she in a vulnerable position when this started? Yes, I do agree with that, but I do think that she actively made this choice over and over again. Until this day, we don't have confirmation that they have broken up, but apparently they're still together. So till
Hmm.
this day, she's been making the decision to be with this man. So I don't really think it's manipulation. Do I think she was in a vulnerable state following her divorce or her separation, whatever. And maybe he did take advantage of that, but she chose to go with it. So it wasn't like he manipulated her or convinced her to do something crazy. Like he just said to her, "Hey girl, am I crazy? Is there something going on here?" And she was like, "Hell yeah." So it wasn't like it didn't take that much convincing or manipulation. So that's the one thing I disagree with her. But at the same time, then I kind of took a step back and I thought about it and I was like, she has known Amanda for over 10 years, and they have been friends at least for the past couple of years, specifically the past year. They mentioned they became really close while filming in the city. So I do think if that was my friend, maybe I would make up excuses for her as well, if you know what I mean. So I do think from the rich history and relationship they have, I understand it because she kind of has to make up it like, why are you doing this? So she's kind of like, hey, you're being manipulated. So I understand it. I just don't think she's right.
Yeah, I think Lindsay is an amazing performer of the reality TV arts. She knows
Yes.
what she needs to do. And she was
Yeah.
like, look, I need to sit down with this woman in a professional setting because we need to move the story forward. We didn't get enough info in the reunion. Let me see if a 101 maybe brings something else. And I also think Lindsay, not to be like, she's not like cold or just being, taking advantage of the situation. She's thinking, how can we make sure that this summer house doesn't, or in the city, doesn't go the way of Vanderpump Rules? So I do appreciate that
Yeah.
she's like, somebody needs to be the bigger person that is not so attached to the situation. Like you're not going to ask Ciara to go sit next to
No,
a
hell
man
no. She would
conversation.
never
That's
do it.
extremely insensitive. So at least Lindsay, she points out several times, you need a big sister right now. I want to give you the hard facts. I was like, big sister. I don't I don't think I could even be a big sister. So Lindsay, good kudos to you that you can put yourself in that situation because I would just be like so horrified and like disgusted with Amanda at that point. But good on her if she can like pull through. That just shows how good she is as a reality TV star because that's not something we would do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the number one reason she did it was for that exactly what you said. She was like, "Hey, my show might be in trouble. Let me see what we can do." I don't actually think she cares that much. I think she cares about Amanda, but not enough to sit down with her unless her show was at risk, which is what I think is happening here. And then I do think it was good for Lindsay to be the one to deliver this information because, like you said, she's a little more removed from the situation and she can be real with her. And there's not, I mean, there's emotions, but I feel like Ciara would have been a little more emotional in the sense that it's like she was the one who was betrayed. So she probably would have cried. And, I feel like it probably would have been harder for her to communicate the straight facts without having emotions intertwined. And I think that's what Lindsay was really good at. And I love right at the beginning, I think she kind of says like, the problem is that you get your self love and your self worth through a man and
Mhm.
like or lack thereof with Kyle. And so Kyle wasn't giving you that. And so you found it with Wes. Because at one point she says, like, I just wanted to like someone to care about me and to love me. And she was like, well, a lot of people love you and care about you. And then she goes, no, but like a guy. And you see Lindsay like,
Oh,
oh, a man? Like almost
yeah.
disgusted by it. She was like, oh, gross.
You can see Lindsay reacting to Amanda through her eyes and kind of like having to hold back several times when she asked
Yeah.
Amanda, "Did you watch the reunion?" Now, after the fact, after you were embarrassed on the reunion by Andy asking you if you watched the reunion and you said no, she's now like, "Did you watch it now?" And she's like, "No, I can't. I can't go through with it." Social media. She also told you like you need to work on your self worth. You are looking stupid. Several things. One thing I want to say also, what's happening with Lindsay's hair?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It looked like a
Yeah.
gallina mateco vaso. Like she looked like
Yeah.
a poop.
Yeah.
We need to get some Olaplex in there, girl. What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because there's kind of like a little detour from what actually was happening. It's so funny because at the beginning when they get there, she's like kind of like frantically like cleaning and like doing things that I was like, oh my God, that would be me if I was in her shoes. Where it's like, it's not really, I'm not the one in the hot seat, but it's still like awkward and weird. And so I'm trying to like break the ice. The good thing is that they do have that history. So even like the rose bottle thing, they were like, oh, I brought rose, like this, our rose
OG.
bottle, whatever. Yeah. So that was kind of cute. But I was just laughing at like Lindsay being frazzled. Even when they sit on the couch, she like picks something off from the couch. Like you could tell she's just like, I'm so embarrassed for you. I don't even know where to start, kind of thing. She's just kind of like, and I was like, that would have been me. I would have been like straightening up as she's telling me how everything started.
It's like an anxious cleaning. Like you're not really cleaning.
Yeah.
You just want to have your hands busy because I'm like, oh my God, this is so
Yeah.
clingy. I'm gonna have to talk to this woman about
And the
how to take care
hair,
of herself.
I'm just going to attribute the hair to,
Being a mom.
yeah, she didn't have time. She was like, let me drop off Gemma daycare. Oh my God. Amanda's getting here. I need to go get Rose because she's not bringing shit because she never does. Oh, wait. She actually, I think it was like a mix of those. Like, I need to
Yeah.
get ready for this thing. And then the last thing in her mind was like, what does my hair look like on camera?
Yeah, I'm gonna give Lindsay some mommy grace. Sorry, Lindsay, but I just thought, it kind of threw me off because she's always so well put together that I was
No,
like,
no,
what's
no.
happening?
I fully agree. I mean, I do think maybe they were trying to make this conversation be like I'm
Cash.
just home and you just happened to stop by because even the way she was dressed, nothing wrong with what she was wearing, but I'm saying like she was wearing like jeans and a t-shirt. Like it wasn't like overly produced, so maybe that's the
Yeah,
look she was going for with her hair.
I could tell. I could tell. Also, Miss Gemma needs to sage that house, that little playhouse, because the vibes,
That's
a
so
lot of
true. I forgot about
Palo
that.
Santo. Palo Santo,
Yeah.
she needs to be in the house because Amanda's been there and then she was sitting in front of the house. I'm like, "Ay!"
Yeah. Yeah. No, honestly, their conversation, I think out of the three was my favorite because it was my favorite because Lindsay was relentless with Amanda in the sense, like, not relentless in like a negative way, but relentless in like, hey, you're being dumb. Hey, he's embarrassing you. Hey, he cheated on you already. Hey, he's fucking you up. Hey, like, he's
All
so
the
fucked
facts.
up. Yeah, he's so fucked. This is all so fucked up. We forgot how bad of a husband Kyle was. Like, she's
Mm.
giving her the hits, like bar after bar after bar. Of course, Amanda is receiving it in the way that I expected it, which is like, I'm the victim. This happened to me. I couldn't help myself. Kyle was shitty and made me feel like crap. So I had to do something horrible. And so it's like, I love the Lindsay side of the conversation and I didn't love the Amanda side, but it was exactly what I expected, which is she
Mhm.
always victimizes herself. And I do think some of the things she was saying were probably true, but I think
Doesn't
because she's not
justify.
on, yeah, it doesn't justify. And I think because she's not on social media and she doesn't have a friend like Lindsay in her inner circle, no one is telling her the hard truth. And the fact that what the audience wants from her right now and what Ciara wants from her right now is for her to be like, completely apologetic with no buts. Like, I fucked up. I'm a horrible person. I should have never done this. This was horrible. Instead of like, yeah, I fucked up, but Kyle treated me like shit. So this is why I did, you know what I mean? And so I think that is where she loses everyone.
Absolutely. And Lindsay delivering the hard truths. She also admits, like through conversation with Lindsay, she kind of gives her a little bit of the rundown of how things happen. And Lindsay says, he's been saying that
Yeah.
you were obsessed with him. He
Yeah.
told Ciara, myself, at PJ Clark's in March that you were obsessed with him, that you were the one that was pursuing him. And I found like a little bit of a tell when Amanda is lying, she acts a little bit like more activated and pretends like a little
Mhm.
smirk. And she was like, that's interesting. And she did like a little smile smirk that she also did when she saw Ciara and West in the city when they had that meeting, the three of them together. And I've seen several times when they were in summer house also, and she had to pretend that
Yeah.
she was happy about West and Sierra hanging out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. You're
just,
right.
she's done this little smirk several times, and here she was saying, "No, he was the one that was reaching out and obsessed with me." And I was saying, "No, no, 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 no." She did pull out the text, and it does seem like that, but something about that smirk made me like that change of personality. She's a very flat toned person, and when
Yeah.
she's
Yeah. You're right.
happy, she kind of activates and like gives a
I know
jolt.
exactly what smirk you're talking about. Yeah, no, no, I think you're 100% right, which is so funny because even the text that they showed where she was like, he was pursuing me. I was like, that's what
The
you
person.
call pursuing you? He's like talking to you in a group chat and be like, come to the ale house. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think you were in worse shape than I thought you were. Like, how is that all of a sudden? I just don't understand how like a frat boy being like, "Hey, let's watch a game. Hey, pull through to the ale house. Hey, let's have some drinkies or whatever the fuck." How is that this man is in love with me? So to me, I don't know whose story I buy. I do buy him, him pursuing her secretly and telling other people the opposite because this seems to be his playbook. But I also think I don't know. This feels very half-assed. And if I were her, I would be embarrassed that this is the definition of a man pursuing me and being in love with me is inviting me out to the ale house to eat some chicken wings and have some beer.
The bare minimum, like the way that he was interacting on the group chats, it's
Yeah.
basically my cousins saying like, let's hang out. Hey
Yeah.
guys, like there's always like a cousin of mine that's always like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's keeping the group chat going. Sometimes it's me, uh, sometimes it's me always asking people out. It just gave like group chat vibes. I didn't see if that is your definition of being pursued, of being
Yeah.
like, wooed. Oh, girl, like the bar is in hell. The bar
The
is in
bars in
hell.
hell. No, no, even like my long distance best friend is like more romantic. She's always like, I miss you, thinking of you, love you, can't wait to see you. And like she's like, she gets let's go to the ale house to eat chicken wings. So it's really I think we all have different standards for sure. And I just think, like you said, the bar for Amanda was in hell. And this was like a little above hell.
Yeah. She also admits finally that she doesn't have any friends, in the sense of that they weren't hanging out with a group of friends in common. She says his friends and going out with his friends and himself made me feel young, because they are young and you're doing young people shit and also dumb stuff. And that made me feel loved and young and fresh and clean and whatever the hell. And I was like, girl, you are basically, you could have had this and so much more. You could have gotten divorced, have a fun summer, doing fabulous thing, and you would have felt young and you would have felt great. Instead, you're just hanging out with a younger dude. You have no friends. You've been isolated. It's it's so sad. It's like,
Also,
come
I
on.
don't buy her I don't buy that in the sense that I'm like, didn't Ciara say she always invited her to shit and she never answered? So I'm like, why
Exactly.
aren't you hanging out with Ciara and her friends? Like, why
Mhm.
are you all of a sudden like, I only like I had the time of life with Wes and his friends and I felt young and I felt alive again. And I'm like, yes, I understand that feeling. I understand getting out of a long term relationship and holding on to that person as like a lifesaver. But it's not like West, he was the only one checking in, asking her to go out when we know for a fact that Ciara was doing the same and you were leaving her on red. So that's the only thing where I'm like, I do think she had a crush on him from BO, even if like she didn't realize it, but I do think her hanging out with him and feeling good about herself and all that stuff for sure is it correlates, but I think there's a lag.
Yeah, I think now it's okay. Or
Okay.
not.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
close something. A
Yeah.
ver.
Maybe like
Okay,
something
good.
too.
I think we're good.
Okay. So I kind of got the last one. You think that it correlates? And then
No, that I was saying that I do think that West and hanging out with West made her feel young and happy again, but I don't think he was the only one asking her to hang out. There was other
absolutely
people doing it too. She just chose to do it with him because she had a crush on him. Yeah.
sad. And they also talked about, Lindsay points out, like, but okay, but why didn't you stop it? Like, you are hanging out. He's inviting you to things. Katie DeLuca being dragged to the dirt here. You can see her in all the messages. Like, yeah, I'm down. I'm coming. I'm going. I'm hanging around. And she says, oh, I just didn't think about it. Like, the response to that, it was so like blank and nothing. Like I don't even remember exactly what she said, but she basically gave us nothing when Lindsay put it like, okay, you realize he's pursuing you. You feel weird being in his house. Why didn't you stop it and said, no, I'm shutting this down?
Well, she did the one thing I will give her credit for. She did finally admit and say, because I was being selfish, because I only cared
Oh
about
yeah.
myself. And so that was the one time that I'm like, that's like the only good thing she said in the entire conversation, where she, not that she finally admitted, because maybe she might have said something similar in the reunion, but finally she, in a very like PR way, she was like, I was being selfish, instead of being like, yeah, I was being kind of like a see you next Tuesday, and like I didn't care about anyone's feelings. You know what I mean? Um, so that's the only positive I see from it. But I do think it's so weird with Amanda, because she goes from saying something that you're finally like, yes, you're finally getting it. And then she doubles down saying something stupid like, yeah, I'm feeling a lot of feelings. I have a lot of things to think about. I have to reflect. And but then I'm like, we know you went to Italy, so you didn't really think that much or reflect that much on it, because everything Lindsay's telling you, I do think she's like receiving it and like processing it, because you see like the wheels start turning in her head, but I don't think she's actually absorbing it. Or if she is, she's making terrible decisions. But it was very frustrating to watch, because I just think that she didn't really give much, and she's so monotone, and the only time she cries is when she cries about herself, and
Yeah.
herself being the victim
Yeah.
and
It's
blaming
like,
everything on Kyle, which I do think is okay, because he maybe did a lot of fucked up shit to her, and the marriage wasn't good. So I do think Kyle can be blamed for some of it, but you can't blame the whole thing on him. Also, you chose to marry this man, and you stayed in a marriage where you didn't have sex for 4 years. So you do have a choice at one point where you can choose to say, this doesn't seem like it's working anymore.
yeah, like there were plenty of signs, I think, that of, hey, you know what? Maybe this is not the fairy tale I imagine.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Lindsay says as well, what was your takeaway from the reunion? And this drove me insane when she says, well, I don't remember because I shut down when people yell at me. I'm like, is the yelling in the room with us? Who's yelling?
Also, I'm like, you don't remember because you were high out of your fucking mind. That's why you don't remember.
Lindsay's face when she said, I don't remember, was like, what? Like, oh, because you were zooted. That's why you don't remember, girl. That was so
Yeah.
lame. Like, I want her to be put in a firing squad with DJ James Kennedy and Lala. And then and somebody posted on
Stick in
threads.
my head.
I posted this, like, where's the yelling? People was like, if you haven't been like told to go fuck a cheese grater, you haven't been yelled at in your life. Okay?
Yeah. She didn't get it that bad. I mean, she was being yelled at by Ciara, and she wasn't even yelling. She was just telling her the facts and the truth. Probably didn't like it because it wasn't good, but no one was yelling at her. Like, people were just saying, "Hey." Also, she told Ciara to fuck off at one point. So it's not like you were like a quiet, perfect little angel. So
No, and scoffing and rolling her eyes constantly. So for me, I was like, I can't deal with this type of entitled bitch. You are just, she's like such a come mierda, which is kind of like what we call to like rich kids that are entitled in DR. Oh, it drives me
yeah,
insane.
it's, I don't know. She's a very frustrating person to watch for many reasons. And I think for me, with this whole summer house thing, it's like the fact that, again, it could never be just her fault. Like, she fucked up, period. It's always like, she fucked up because Kyle was a monster to me. She fucked up because I was feeling like shit. And so to me, that's where I'm like, but it's true that Lindsay was able to get her to say two things that I thought were great and that we all knew, but she finally said him herself. The one where she called herself selfish, great. And the second one was when she said, "Oh, I wanted a man to care about me. I didn't care about you girls." And that was to me worth the sit down. The rest was frustrating and stupid and didn't make, like, it didn't really make a difference. But those two little gems to me were the most important. And the fact that Lindsay told her three or four things that everybody has been saying on threads, online, whatever, that I don't know if she came up with them herself or she scoured threads the night before, scrolling before going to bed, and she was like, okay, this one's good. I'm gonna copy it. This one's great too. Let me rehearse it. I don't know if it came from her mind or if she like looked at social media, but that was great. What everything she told her. I love that she said, I feel embarrassed. It's like, you should, because it's embarrassing. So that
Or
was
no, you're
great.
stupid. I feel like a dumb bitch, and like you should feel dumb. You are dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you. She also said the wee wee, like all of this.
The wee
It was a
wee, I
way.
know.
It was a way to say, because she was trying. Like I feel like she understood that Amanda doesn't react to direct confrontation, and you have to put on the kid's gloves with her, which is insane. But she was like, I'm gonna give you a little like whack by saying you did all of this for like some flaccid little dick.
And she also said he already cheated on you, which I was like,
True. Oh my God, he already cheated on you. He slept with Meija in
in
March.
March, he already
And
cheated on you. And then all of that. So the wee wee thing was funny, but also, so something I realized is like Lindsay obviously hates West with
definitely.
the strength of a thousand suns. She really, really hates West, which is so funny. And of course, she had like a little bit of a crash out on threads the other day talking about how much she hates West, which was amazing. And so I do think it's really interesting. I think the hate that she has for West goes beyond the scandal. I think she hasn't liked West since West suggested that Lindsay shouldn't be on the show after having Gemma. So I think it goes far beyond, and this is just like the perfect opportunity for her hate to be public, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
he has been like 3 times he's tried to get her out of her job, like
yeah,
saying, "I don't know how Lindsay's gonna come back." Now with the Lindsay should leave and all these type of things, and also now putting in jeopardy the city and Summer House. So she's like, "I brought you in this show, and I'm gonna take you out of this show." This guy is putting all his content on his
yeah.
the podcast, not delivering during the reunion. I'm out. This is it. My
Which
takedown. Love it.
which is also why I think she's being much nicer to Amanda and go and like focusing on West. I think it's because she actually fucking hates West. And Amanda, I think she probably thinks Amanda's being stupid and she's like, this is embarrassing. But I don't think she hates Amanda. I think she's just like, you're a dumb bitch, but let me try to help you out. And I understand why people were so angry about it, but I also think we got to look at it from Lindsay's perspective. And Lindsay's perspective is, I rather channel all my rage and anger towards the person I hate, which is West. And I can still manage to do that by being a little nice to Amanda. So that's what I thought this sit down was like, I'm still going to call her a dumb bitch to her face, but I'm going to focus like the actual vitriol and the hate. I'm going to focus it on him. And so I think it was good. I don't know if it was necessary. I mean, she admitted those two things that I just mentioned, which were good. I don't know if the sit down was necessary because we didn't learn that much, to be honest with you, other than the fact that he cheated on her and he said that Amanda was obsessed with him. But I'm like, I just kind of was okay about it. The
Yeah,
Lindsay Amanda was to me the most interesting of the three, but I
yeah.
was kind of like, okay, well, she's still with him, so this didn't work, you know?
Yeah, and Lindsay also points that out. She's like, I thought I got through to her. And then she said, this girl, I talked to her about this, jumps in a plane, goes to Italy. And she said, after that, she was like, suelta en banda, banda de camión. Like, I'm done with you, girl. Like, I already gave you
Yeah.
the talk. If you didn't listen to it, good luck. And see you in the city reunion, which apparently already filmed. And Amanda also had her feet put to the fire again because she's also showing her ass in the city. So
Yeah.
I I was gonna say I think Lindsay, as always, was concerned and the producers of the poor showing that Amanda and Wes gave and delivered during the reunion. They were like, we need to give something to the people. And she was really trying to get some human reaction out of Amanda. I felt like she wanted to address Ciara, like to say something to Ciara, because she says, but like after that, why would you do this to Ciara? Like someone that had Wes has broken her heart over and over again. And Amanda doesn't take the bait and doesn't go into the direction of talking about Ciara and how hurt she is for doing that or losing the friendship and all of these bullet points that you could have hit to at least gain some sort of sympathy or at least show the viewers that you have some remorse. So she's still not hitting that quota for me. But Lindsay did what she could. Let's move on to Kyle and West. Another disappointing sit down, even more so, because at least West, Lindsay and Amanda was there was some gossip. What do you
Yeah.
think? Glow or no glow?
No glow. Throw it away. Light it on fire. Like a waste of my time. I was on my phone half of it.
Don't send a man to do a woman's job, basically. Oh, we needed a game in there. I'm sorry, but bring Steven.
Honestly, even a gay man, I don't think could have gotten anything out of West. Like West is
Of
so
all.
dumb looking. Like I don't want to talk about people's looks. Okay, I take it back. He's not dumb looking. But I just looked at his outfit when he came in and I was like, I hate him. Like honestly, I hate this man. The only thing that I found super interesting, let me see, I wrote some notes. The only thing I was like, okay, this is actually really interesting. The dog recognizing West, I was like,
Oh my God, tell. And
yeah,
the dog and Kyle noticing, I was like, well, she obviously knows you, which is pretty weird. And Wes
yeah.
saying, I've never been to this apartment. Bullshit, motherfucker.
Well, maybe he
Liar.
hasn't because they were probably separated, and then he was just going over to Amanda's, and she had the dogs. That's what I assumed. That maybe he
People
didn't.
are saying on TikTok that they were together on New Year's Eve in Amanda's apartment,
Oh, well,
like
maybe.
in a sort of after party kind of thing. And
Well,
people
I
were
don't
in
believe anything Wes says, so anything can be true for sure. But
there.
the dog knowing him, I was like, oh my God, this is so messy. And the dog's like, licking his ear or whatever. But so
Yeah.
that
Earshot.
actually was very pretty riveting. And we started off that way. So I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be good. And then I
Mm-mm.
was like, not really. And then okay, the only other thing I wrote about this meetup was that he mentions I didn't want to shoot this because my time on camera was over. So I guess he already knew he was out from Summer House when they shot that, which
Mm-hmm.
makes sense with the timeline of what he's been doing, talking on his podcast and everything, like behaving like he's not coming back to Summer House. So that was interesting that he kind of himself says that. And then I thought what was really funny, it's like with Lindsay and Amanda, they're talking about like he made me feel this way. Like she's talking about her emotions, going through divorce, like all these things, crying. There's like emotion and like there's a little bit of depth there. And then Wes goes, "Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. When you posted that video of us playing basketball, it really made me miss you." And I was like, "That was the thing that you were like, wait, I fucked up. I actually care about Kyle. I maybe hurt his feelings." And he was like, "That video of us playing basketball made me reach out to you." I was like, men are so simple.
Men are so simple. I saw they played the footage of the video, and I'm like, this is what
Yeah.
got you? This is what
Yeah.
got you emotional? This basketball? I'm like, man, wow. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. So
Yeah.
tries to get stuff out of him, like, have you loved her before? And he's like, yeah, I mean, I haven't told her I love her, but I do love her and I have always loved her, but I actually was fucking someone else before. It's like so convoluted. He talks
The
about
way
Mija. They showed unseen
uh-huh.
footage of Jesse being aware of, like, so
Yeah.
what's Mija happening? And there's two incidents. One is 2 summers ago, they clocked him for having Mija on his phone, like somebody coming to pick it. Like Jesse's noticing that he's been talking to the same person for a long time. He denies
Mhm.
it in his testimonial, which bullshit. And then this previous summer saying, Jesse, oh, so what's up with Mija? Which what do you think about that?
So I thought another thing I wrote, I'm like, this was boring and I have like 17 notes. Another thing I wrote down was about West, the way he talks about Ciara and Mija is just very telling. First of all, he talks about Mija on the show and also like actually no, on the show before he's sitting down with Kyle, he's like kind of says like, "Oh no, I'm not really dating her. She lives in Montana. Like it's just someone I know." Like she doesn't really yeah, like it's almost like she's not important to him, but clearly
Yeah.
she is because they're talking all the time. So even before we knew what we know now, the way he referred to her was almost like, no, 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 she's not important. You gotta worry. You don't gotta worry about her. Which if I was Miha, I would have been like, done. We're done. You're never hearing from me. You're dead to me. which we'll get to her later because I'm a little disappointed. So
Mm,
that was a little embarrassing. And then the way he talked to Kyle, when because Kyle also brings up Ciara and was like, okay, but like you were like hugging her and touching her and like leading her on, like what's going
I
on? And he confesses, oh, we kissed and yeah, like she asked me for my address, but I didn't give it to her. And then she asked me for like the way he talks about it being like, she wanted me. I try to
which
be honest with
tracks,
her. Yeah.
which tracks
And so
because he also saying the same about Amanda. So he also refers to that's the same point of view that he has.
no, and that's and we'll get to their conversation later, but I literally wrote like this is like Wes's like playbook. Like
Pattern,
he
yeah.
in public he's like no 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 don't worry about that girl, nothing serious there, we're just casual, like don't even learn her name. But then behind closed doors he's like hugging, touching, loving, like love bombing them. And then he's shocked when they're like, oh, maybe she thought we were in a relationship, I don't know why, you know. So it's like it was just kind of really off-putting the way he talked about Miha and Ciara as if they were like garbage on the street. I did not appreciate that. But again, it's very telling on who he is. And then the other thing that made me hate him even more was his demeanor talking to Kyle. Like, I understand he was anxious and nervous. I totally get that. Like I said, I would have been Lindsay picking like stress cleaning beforehand. But he couldn't even look
Kyle in the eye.
Kyle in the eye. He was like fidgeting. Like, he couldn't, like, he wasn't like 10 toes down. Like, listen, I'm so sorry I hurt you. I'm a fucking asshole, but I'm in love with Amanda. Like, we never saw like a complete statement from him. It was all like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I like her. Yeah, I told her I love her, but like as a friend. But and I was just like, what are you trying to say? I really don't understand. If I was Amanda, I would have walked away. If I watched that conversation, I would have been like, this is embarrassing. It's over. Like,
You're absolutely right. He doesn't give full statements, and we're not watching a man here. We're watching a toddler. We're watching a child. There's no. He at one point says, and It's hard for me to say this looking at you straight in the eye, and he wasn't. I was like, you're not
yeah,
even doing that. But I love her, and I've loved her before this, and it's ridiculous because Kyle, like immediately in 5 seconds, debunks that whole theory by saying, "But did you?" I saw Lindsay last night on Watch What Happens Live, and I said, "I love you, but I'm
that
not in
was
love with you."
that was a really interesting conversation when they get into it because he says, I told her I loved her during the summer, and they show a flashback.
The clip.
But in that context, and this is where I'm like, West looks and sounds and acts dumb, but I don't think he is. And so
No,
he says, like, I told her I loved her during the summer. They do the flashback. And then Kyle says, but like, did you love her like romantic feelings? And he says, like, oh no, no, feelings were after February, after the statement. And so I'm like, what? You just said you so okay, so you didn't you loved her as a person and then you developed romantic feelings of love after you put out the statement. So I'm very confused and I did write, I feel like everything with West is about a loophole. So if someone catches him on something, he's like, oh well no, I didn't mean it that way. Like, oh, what I actually said was. So that was the thing where I'm like, you're sitting here in front of Kyle telling him all the truth, like confessing all these things. I don't believe anything because I feel like everything is so calculated. So like I said, to me, this was a little bit of a waste of time of a conversation. I didn't appreciate the way he spoke about Miha or Ciara and their relationships. And I wrote, I hate his style and that he can't look at Kyle. I'm just like, and I do think Kyle was like kind of, and I think Kyle, like Lindsay, was like, listen, we all got to get paid. We got to get the show renewed. I don't really care about you. I haven't really cared about Amanda romantically in a long time. So I'll sit with you. But I will say there's an interesting, and I'm curious where you have to, if you notice the same thing, but there's an interesting contrast between the way that Amanda talks about Kyle to Lindsay and the way that Kyle talks about Amanda to West. Meaning, Amanda's very like, Kyle ruined my life. He was a monster. He made me do this. And Kyle is like, I'm concerned about Amanda. What are your intentions? What are you gonna do about her? I'm not in love with her, but I love her. I'm worried about her. So it's really interesting to see how Kyle is very like, let me make sure you're okay. And Amanda's like, Kyle is a fucking asshole and he's the one who made me do this. So that was interesting. If I was Kyle and I was watching this, I'd be like, wait,
Wait
wait
a
a minute, you know?
minute. Wait a minute. No, in no moment Amanda is thinking, wait, what is going to happen to Kyle? Like, looking back at this, is he going to have hesitations that I was faithful throughout the marriage? Is his friendship with Wes, is he also going to feel betrayed about this? None of that comes into play while Kyle is constantly and tirelessly trying to defend Amanda, protect her, play this dad role, which is crazy because it's like, if you protect her so much, then treat her right during the marriage, which he didn't do.
I agree. I
And
think
now,
I think a lot of it comes from guilt, probably.
exactly, I think a lot comes from guilt and realizing, wow, I really fucked this one, scrooge the pooch, and I really fucked this up. But also seeing West as such a threat and Amanda as such a little like fragile flower. We've said it several times. It's why she's like that. This, the
100%.
enabling, it's what continues to encourage this behavior. So it needs to
Yeah.
stop. It needs to
And
stop.
then I have a question for you. Which podcast did you think she was gonna go on that Kyle
Oh,
convinced her not to do?
yeah, I think it was Nick Vial's podcast
Yeah,
only
me too.
because Call Her Daddy. I think she would not. She's a little bit more smart and like cares about how she's positioned herself in terms of the women following.
Yeah.
She would have liked to have Ciara first. I don't think she would have had, Amanda,
Yeah.
but probably Nick Vial's, or maybe
That's
that
what I
like,
think so
always
too.
don't like crap if they would have given her a nice check.
Oh, that's true. No, I definitely think it was Nick Viles. I hate him, but I think it was gonna be that one, which actually would have been a perfect fit for her.
Yeah.
And then my second question for you, what podcast do you think Sierra should do if she were to do a podcast?
I think she really should do Rachel Lindsay's podcast.
I was gonna say the same.
Yeah, I think she's a great commentator. She's
Yeah.
also a woman of color.
Yeah.
She can have her back in that aspect, which I think sometimes a lot of people miss the nuances. I would also like to see, maybe she already did an interview with Hunter Harris. I think Hunter Harris also, let
Yes.
me say this, is back, so that could also be good. The only
Oh, I
thing
was
with
gonna ask. Oh, she has a podcast. Okay.
Yeah, let me say this. The only thing with Hunter, she's just watched all of Summer House to interview her for Glamour. So
Oh, got it.
she's a new initiated queen, which kudos to her. She watched the whole thing. She knows her stuff, but
A
she
true
hasn't.
professional.
She's a pro. So,
Yeah.
ow. But you know what? Okay, boom, clear the slate. Fuck that shit. Feedback. Ira Madison III just launched his podcast.
Oh my
Boom,
god.
bitch.
Okay. Did you know? I actually know Ira because he used to work at BuzzFeed with me. I know. I mean, I met
What?
him once. I don't think he remembers who I am, but I've been a huge fan of his, and I
Huge,
love
love
him.
his
Yeah.
book. I super follow, like, listen to Keep It, and
Oh,
now I'm
keep
gonna
it.
jump into
Oh,
this.
I miss when he was on it, to be honest with you. I'm so happy, thrilled to listen to his new project. So I'm excited. But yes, I do think feedback would be good, but I do think Rachel Lindsay would have been if she I don't know if she's gonna do them or not, but if she does a podcast, Rachel Lindsay would be, I think,
No,
the
Ciara does
first
a podcast?
like if she was going to do a podcast interview, I think the first like podcast, I know she's on like interviews for magazines or different articles that she's been, but I think podcast Rachel Lindsay would be, I think it's called Morally Corrupt.
Yeah, Morally Corrupt from The Ringer. But also, I have to say, to be honest, just for the giggles, she needs to go on Bravo We're Black with Kaya, because Kaya, all throughout this situation, did 40 Days and 40 Nights just bashing Amanda and defending Ciara.
Not
So
40 days and 40 nights.
she did it. She went 40 Days and 40 Nights nonstop to all the podcasts talking about Amanda. I just bought my t-shirt. Get your merch. It's online. Well,
Obsessed.
I ordered it. It's gonna take some time to show up, but
Yeah.
definitely she needs to go to Gaia. But I think, like, perspective wise, of course, Rachel Lindsay is a sort of like a journalist in that sense, but Kaya will bring the fun, the giggles, and like just like the
Yeah.
cheeky,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
someone that will completely be just good times. And she's already done the podcast, so that makes absolute sense. But that's more like a Bravo niche podcast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
really
think
works
Morally
for
Corrupt is like,
Bravo, you know?
yeah.
Let's say it's an
She
independent
just,
podcast, which also deserves all the kudos, because this is also independent. So here we go.
for sure, for sure. No, that I was just curious, but I agree. I think, well, I do think Rachel Lindsay would be the perfect first one because she did an interview with Bradley Carter from Southern Hospitality, and I
Yeah.
loved it. So I think it would be a really good match. I mean, and I know
Yeah.
they're friends or know each other, so it would be she probably would feel really comfortable talking to her.
She did that, and that was amazing. And it's different perspective. And then like Kaya also did one with Bradley, and it's just a different vibe, but it's also
Oh, I
like
need to. I'm gonna listen to it now. I want to see
no,
the.
and with
Okay, I'm gonna
TJ
go listen to
also.
it.
She did one with TJ
Okay.
with Brad and with Lake. And TJ, I mean the gossip, and Brad. I mean, I just listened to that and I was like, wow, I had so much respect for Brad. So
Yeah, same.
listen to those. Those are it's so much
Okay,
fun.
well,
It's,
I want to go
it's the best.
listen.
I'm not biased in that sense because Kai is the godmother of this podcast. So
I love it.
So that was those guys, West and Kyle, disappointing women
Yeah.
one time again. Now let's go into Miha and Ciara, which is Miha disappointing us. Glow or no glow?
I would say no glow for Mija, but like with like no glow, like I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. You know?
Mhm. Mhm. I'm
So
gonna
I would say
say
no glow.
I'm gonna say glow because how can you go make all these stupid decisions and turn on the camera and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna admit it. I'm gonna say this."
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
have lied through my teeth. I would have been like,
y-
"No, no, no, no." So I'm gonna say you gave me a glow, Mija, because you admitted to that, and you're delulu, and I hope you get some healing, girl. You're in danger. You're in danger, girl. Get some
no,
therapy. Love you.
actually, yeah, it's she would make great reality TV. So I will say that that is the glow part. The no glow, I was just like, okay, I think it was definitely the more out of the three, the more I would say lighthearted one. They were having
Mhm.
fun. They were like
Getting
having
mimosas.
mimosas. Yeah, so that was cute. I do think out of the two of them, you could tell Sierra's a little more like, yeah, that guy's dead to me, blocked, never talking to him again. So that was good to kind of see that perspective out of Sierra. I do think Sierra is a Capricorn like myself, and we never show our feelings. So it might be just like her defense mechanism. But
That's
like
right.
you said,
That makes sense about Sierra and about
yeah.
you.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because she is a Capricorn, so she's very like only very few people in her inner circle have ever seen her show emotion. So I think in this case maybe it might have been Sierra protecting herself by not like outright saying outright what she's actually feeling and being more like laughing with a mimosa, better summer, like let's cheers to this, let's cheers to that. Where I don't know what sign Miha is, but Miha's like, yeah, I talked to him and I talked to him for 6 hours and blah blah. And to me,
I was like, girl, a post reunion? No fucking way. No
yeah,
fucking way. You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me. I'm
I
like,
do
I know
think.
they're young. I know, but
How
they're not
young are they
young.
though? I don't
No,
think they're
Sierra's
that young.
30. Sierra's 30. And this girl, like, I don't know. But I'm like, girl, what?
I feel bad for her because I do think she probably is still maybe processing like, wait, I dated this guy for years and I thought we were exclusive.
The
Meanwhile,
processing is over. The processing is over. Once you find out that he had been
yeah,
lying and hiding your relationship and all of this, that's wake up. Just
no,
stop. Stop.
I fully agree, but
I
I
know what you
also think,
mean. I know what you mean. She's definitely in the thralls of it all. And I've seen this so many times. I've seen women do this over and over
yeah.
again. But it's just like, come on, get
But
out of
that's
there.
what I was gonna say. I think we've all done really stupid shit when it comes to men at one point in our lives. Like, unfortunately,
100%.
that's just like the rite of passage. But the difference is most of us have the luxury to do it off screen without anyone ever finding out, or maybe just your best friends. So I think that's the difference. I will say, if any of the stupid shit I've ever done for a man ever became part of a reality TV show, I would be like,
I would kill you.
deny, deny, deny. Like you would never, would have never waterboarded out of me the fact that I spoke to Wes Wilson for 6 hours after a reunion. I would have been like, I hope he's well. Haven't heard from him in years. Like I would have pretended like amnesia, like I don't know who that man is.
No.
Like,
I could tell Sierra off camera and be like, "Yeah, girl, no, I'm still talking to him. I'm still in the
yeah,
darkness. I'm
yeah.
still trapped."
And even
But
the
yeah,
way that she's like, oh yeah, we mostly speak on the phone because of her. And I was like, it's not because of her. It's because he doesn't want a paper trail of evidence. Come on,
I
girl.
Sierra was like mic drop, but I was also shocked. But also, you're still under the spell because you're not seeing that he's doing. It's not because of her. It's what you're saying. He doesn't want a paper trail. He's still playing this game of hiding you and trying to get lure you back in, but he also doesn't want you to publish stuff online or screenshots
Exactly.
and all that. So, girl, like, wake up and smell the coffee. And the
This is
narrative of
cheater
the other
101.
woman, the
Yeah.
narrative of the other woman, and like, oh, he's doing that because he's still with her. He hasn't left her because she's depressed and all of that. So she,
He's gonna leave his wife. No, he's not.
Jack is not leaving his wife, like he can't
Exactly.
because the kids have like ADD. No, mama, it's not.
Not the
Not
kids with
happening.
ADD. No, I
We
think,
will hurt all sorts of things.
yeah. So to me, I'm like, okay, Mija, you got about like 1 week to get your shit together because I'm running out of patience. And I feel for you, have empathy, but that's it. Like the fact that he texted her, "You win" after the reunion was diabolical and reminds me that Wes Wilson isn't dumb. He's just calculated and he plays them because he knows exactly what he's doing. And the fact that he was able to get her to be on the phone with him for 6 hours and she was like encouraging him to go to Italy and spend time with his family. Meanwhile, he was buying a fucking ticket for Amanda to join. Again, makes me feel that if I was Mija, I would be like, I'm a dumb bitch. Oh my God, qué pena. I'm never doing this again. But the fact that she sat there and told everything to Ciara made me say, you're a professional and you deserve to be on reality TV. Drop the contract. Let's get this done.
Let's sign her up. And also, I just realized I mixed up the things. The footage of Jesse was found with, like, it was brought up during the conversation with
You're
Mija.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry about that, people, but we make mistakes. But
No, wait, I think
me,
there was footage for when I think there was they also showed some stuff when he was talking to Kyle. I
okay,
think.
okay. So maybe that's how I got it all
Yeah. I
mixed
think
up.
it was two different like
Two different things.
times. Yeah.
But Mia then also says, okay, after the Italy thing, that's it. I realize, okay, I am being a dumb bitch because I'm telling this guy still, you need to go be with your family and like be with people that love you. And he's going with people he loves. He's going with Amanda and doing whatever that was, the spitting situation.
The
Which,
spin
why
image,
did
I
he?
love that they included it. That was so funny.
I was like, why am I watching this again? But it was hilarious that they brought it up again. I'm like, the editors are like torturing us in the funniest ways possible. They're like, they know that this is gonna create so much stir. Like people are gonna talk about this so much. And I really felt like, wow, her name couldn't be more appropriate because I found myself saying, Mija de por Dios, like so many times.
I know. I feel like people who don't speak Spanish
Don't
won't
understand.
understand. But
But
every time I say her
basically,
name,
let's
Mija.
let's give it a little like Spanish lesson. So like mi hija, we contract it and we create mija, and it's something that we use a lot in Latin America. So her being called mija, which is basically the expression your mom says when you do something stupid, like mija,
Uh-huh.
por el Dios, muchacha el
Uh-huh.
diablo.
I know. Every time I say her name, I laugh because I'm like, you don't know what you're saying, and it's so funny to me. But yeah, Mija disappointed me, but at the same time, like I've been a dumb bitch too, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna hold it against you, but like let's tighten up and get ready to really block this man and cut all ties with him because he is going to just continue to embarrass you. So that's the only thing that was a little bit disappointing, but again, I understand. I do like their chemistry. Her and Ciara were like just
Yeah.
having a good old time, and I actually thought that that was kind of cute. Hopefully they continue to be friends. I don't know if they will, but I love how they're like we're trauma bonded now. And I was like, yeah, kind of. So
And
that was
that is
kind of
the
cute.
tale as all this time is like you become friends with the girl that the guy was cheating on with.
Yeah.
You become best friends because you're like you went through this whole experience. And I think Ciara has a lot of grace for her because she's also I was in it. I've been there. I've been also like going back to it. And also they talk about how Wes really likes the thrill and likes the chase and like the
Yes.
secrecy and how Miha got caught up into that and Ciara as well, thinking, oh, nobody knows that we're hooking up. Nobody knows that we're getting back together. And Ciara's like, nobody knows that we might be like falling in love again. So he uses all of these type of things, the secrecy and the thrill of it, to get you in it. And oh man, he's a sick bastard, this guy. He's really like working all angles here.
I literally wrote that again, that's his playbook. It's like, "Oh, let's pretend it's a secret. Nobody knows. How hot is that?" And the girls are like, "Sure, okay, whatever." And so it's so interesting how he uses that for most girls. I'm sure it was the same with Amanda, obviously for obvious reasons. With Amanda, it had to be a secret, and that I'm sure that played into the whole like let's be together. And now, I mean, now they're stuck because it's very much public, so the secret stuff is out the window. But it's very interesting to see it's a pattern. He did it with Ciara, he did it with Meija, he had to do it with Amanda. So to me, it's interesting how this is an obvious pattern on how he operates, and a lot of them are still not refusing to see it, and some, or at least not a lot of them, just Amanda. Miha
Yeah,
a little bit just because she's still talking to him, but who knows what she's saying. But I really loved how it ended. At the end, they're just like saying, I'm petty. And I thought that that was funny. And I
yeah.
love that Miha tells Sierra, now we got to kiss
Courtside.
courtside sometime. And I was like, that is petty. And I'm here for it. And actually would like to see it. I don't want to see Amanda spitting on Wes, but I want to see you guys make out courtside.
I would love that. Give me the Patreon. I will link up to that. And one thing we didn't mention was what did you thought about him texting her like you win? That is,
I said it's that I wrote it's diabolical. Again, it to me it just says okay, to me it says a few things. The fact that he's not dumb, he just plays dumb. The fact that he looks at this as a game and right
yeah.
now he's losing. So that's why he texted. I think he texted me how you win because it's like you win, people know about you. Like
Yeah.
people found out about the secret that I had
Which
tried
is
to
so
stash
patronizing.
away.
Yeah, so patronizing as well and so diminishing. And it's also something that guys do to kind of like keep you hook as well, like on the hook. You know, they kind of write
Yeah.
to you, try to still have contact with you
Yeah.
in a way. It's like that guy that you kind of hook up with disappears and then all of a sudden starts writing you back like,
He's like,
oh,
you up?
look at you, now you're
Yeah.
all hanging out with that other guy, like trying to make you jealous. Like, I don't know, it's things that I've seen from like fuckboys that I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, do you think I'm stupid?
Yeah, the you win is diabolical. I'm curious what he meant by it. I'm assuming he means, okay, you win. People talked about you at the reunion. People know about you. People know that I lied to you. I don't know if it means that or if it means you win. I'm gonna break up with a man, then be with you. Like I don't know what it meant. I'm assuming it's the first thing I mentioned, but it's
Yeah,
diabolical. And again, it proves that he's very calculated and he's
it's
thinking
open-ended, so it
and
can mean plenty of things to fuck
exactly.
up
It's
me.
very vague, which is like typical from a fuckboy, like vagueness, never talk. And he kind of mentions this when he's talking to Kyle, like, yeah, I guess I'm not direct in my communication. When I told Miha, I don't want to meet your parents, I thought she understood that means we're not in a serious relationship. Where I'm like, sir, in what world? What? So I do think he operates that way because that's how fuckboys operate. And I do think it's a little manipulative and condescending and offensive for he to text her that and diabolical, to be honest. And I'm sad she took the bait and answered because I'm assuming she answered if they spoke for 6 hours on the phone. Um, but yeah, really weird vibes. Not good. Not good. Like Wes Wilson is not the nice guy that he tried to portray himself to be. And it's very clear now.
I was gonna say also, no, I mean the guy is the devil. The guy is the devil. Watch out for the West out there in your life because there are
Yeah.
plenty. I was also gonna say, Mama Miller saying to Ciara, "You need to get off threads." No, lady, no, little lady. We need her. We need her doing cartwheels, giving us the tea. I love that Bravo kind of hinted at the Jen Fessler thing. Like they put out all this stuff that Ciara has been threading. They didn't mention exactly like her big one when she was like he fucked Jen Fessler, but I guess through like legal and stuff like that they can't. But they kind of hinted at they left one of the threads kind of related to that, so I thought that was great and so juicy. But please, Mama Miller, we need Ciara still on threads giving us life.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I do think the one thing that's comforting about that is that Ciara has people in her life, like her family, that are being like that could tell her you're being insane. Don't do that, which I
Yeah,
think is very comforting. I am curious if Amanda has that in her life. I don't know. Well, allegedly she doesn't really have that many friends, but I don't know
Katie
what her
DeLuca.
family is thinking. Right. But what is Katie DeLuca telling her or even her parents? Like, are they being like, hey, girlie, let's take some time offline. Let's reconsider all these things. And so something about Sierra's mom being like, "Hey, girl, stop being petty, stop posting crazy shit on the internet," is a little comforting for me to see. At least she has that in her life. to be
Yeah.
like, okay, my mom's gonna check me if I really get out of line. And so that was a little comforting. But of course, the Bravo fan in me is like, no, 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 keep posting. Let's block, let's block Mama Miller and let's continue to post.
Absolutely. But what you said there kind of exemplifies who these people are. And it goes back to like how you've been brought up and the people that you keep around you. Ciara has her mom checking her, not checking on her, checking her like, hey, keep it cute. While Amanda's running wild and free. We don't know what her parents are saying, but I don't think
Or
it's
West parents. What are West parents saying?
the,
I'd be like,
the gynecologist mom that he's has been selling to us as like this whole bastion of liberty just because he has a gynecologist mom.
no. If I was West's mom, I'd be like, you're 5 minutes away from being dropped off the my will. So get your act together, or you're gonna be penniless when I die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
I
if they
mean,
have money, but that's what I would say.
the farm, whatever the hell, the three horses that they have there and the three chickens.
Exactly.
No, definitely. Like you can tell that they have not made a stand, which they don't have to. But I feel like everything that we know from Amanda just feels like she's being coddled and like and this is no no
She
no
is a spoiled she's a
no.
spoiled brat that grew up to be a spoiled adult who is allergic to facing consequences and accountability. And we're seeing how that plays out in adult life, in real relationships and real friendships. And that's unfortunate, but it doesn't seem that she has really learned her lesson. And I hope she does, but so far I don't think she has.
No, no, no. The girl needs to do some growing up. But okay, so we're gonna wrap it up there. But I really wanted to get a little bit of your input about your last episode because I was living for your conversation with
With
the
Paige, yeah.
page. Also, another queen page, of course.
Yeah, I love
And
her.
she's a reality TV producer. So tell people a little bit about that episode so they go and hear it out. And
Yeah, of course.
it was so much fun. I really enjoy it.
So yeah, Paige, I knew you would like it because of her background, but Paige is someone I met through my friend Leah, who's going to be on the podcast next week too. So Leah is my good friend who used to work in corporate. She's American in Paris, and now she's pursuing art full time. So she's going to be an artist in Paris, which is like everyone's dream. And I met her because Leah invited me over to paint at her house one day, and Paige was there. And Paige is great. She's also an American in Paris. She just moved here in November. And then as soon as I met Paige, which I don't even know how it happened, but Leah goes, "Hey, Danny, I think you're gonna love Paige because she used to work in reality TV." And I was like, "In what
Free.
capacity? What network? What show?
Are
Tell me
you
your
are you
responsibilities,
like, are you with Alex Bag?
KPIs."
Are
Yeah.
you
And so so we sat down and we talked about reality TV for like a good hour. And she's a very interesting person. She has a very interesting story. So she started off working at MTV in the
yeah,
early 2000s when MTV was like the place for reality
MTV.
TV. So she used to work as a producer, and then she moved on to be like developing these shows. So she worked on a bunch of shows. She knows obviously all the behind the scenes. There's a lot that she told us that we couldn't put on the episode because those are just like off mic conversations. But it was
That's for
really
the
interesting.
Patreon that you need to.
I know that's for paid subscribers only, but it was really interesting to see because basically that's how her career started. She originally wanted to be a screenwriter, but ended up working in reality TV, which she mentioned it is a lot about storytelling. So she still uses those skills that she learned in school to be a screenwriter in reality TV, and how basically one of the things she has learned, or one of her number one skills, is like when she goes anywhere, she's always like observing everyone and even sometimes taking notes. And that's kind of like what you do as a reality TV producer. And so it was really interesting. At one point, she got nominated for an Emmy, and she was just kind of like not really excited about it. And that's what kind of it like
Woke her up,
something happened in her brain where she said like, wait, I actually don't want to do this anymore. And she was working for Hello Sunshine at the time, which is Witherspoon's
Yeah,
production company. And she decided to kind of pursue her own thing, and she started working with a friend on a skincare brand, but then also launched her own company, which is she's the founder of Chajele, which is like handbag. They're silicone handbags. They're very cute. She gifted us one. I really like the concept because they're impossible.
very
They
cool.
never get dirty. They look really cute, and they're basically like indestructible, especially for moms. I'm like, this is perfect because I don't have to worry about getting anything dirty. And so, long story short, she's kind of pivoted and changed her life and her career multiple times. And we talked about reinvention and what that means. And her latest pivot is moving to Paris. So she's definitely been a person that kind of had it all career wise and decided to be like, hey, I'm actually not happy. Let me try something new. And to me, that's just very inspiring and like, to me, that makes for a very interesting person. So that was what our conversation was about. But I also pitched her my Paris reality TV plot and she really liked it. Let's see if we can get something
Get
rolling.
that going. Get that going. And, I can come as a friend of for whatever.
Yeah, of course. You'll be invited to all because I don't want to be in it. Like my pitch doesn't include me as a star.
Daniela.
No, I wanna be a producer. I don't wanna be on camera. I don't want anyone knowing any of my business. Also, I would be very boring because I'll always wanna be like, "I don't wanna fight her." And, so anyway, I pitched
I'll
her
fight her.
my
But I'm in comms, so sometimes I think maybe I'm not gonna be so good, but I'm also sometimes quite messy. So I don't know. We'll see.
I do like to chismear a lot, so I think, like, that would get me in trouble. Like, I love to gossip, so but I'm also like, if you tell me don't tell anyone, I won't. So,
Oh yeah,
I
me
would
too.
say the only reason I'd get in trouble in reality TV would be because I told someone else's tea to someone, but I think I would be better behind the camera. So I pitched her my idea with my characters. She loved it. Let's see if we can make something out of it. It's just a fun
Let's
thing for
make
now.
this happen. Change.org this shit.
Yeah, change or let's start a GoFundMe so we can fund it. But yeah, no, it was really interesting to talk to her. She lived in LA in like
Peak
she in the early
2000.
2000s. Yeah, and she was telling me how Lindsay Lohan came to one of her birthdays in the
And the
era where Lindsay
Ambience
Lohan.
Girls, which I didn't know about this. And
I didn't know about it
I
either, and
I
it's very interesting.
think I know a lot about what was happening there, and I didn't know about this, and I'm like, "What? Oh,
No,
I
I
need
was
a
thinking
whole
about it. I was like, I want to do like research, like I want to look into this. Like that was something that I thought was so interesting, and had never heard about. I heard about like reporters for like
chatting."
Page Six that also like their whole role was to like get blind items and publish them and stuff like that. But I had never heard about uh ambience girls, so that was really interesting. And for those who don't know, you can listen to the podcast, she'll explain it better. But ambience girls were basically hot girls that would hang out in like at the clubs or the bars or any hot spots where celebrities were always at, and they would just like basically listen and see what was going on and try to,
Report that?
yeah, see what was going on and then report back to whatever outlet would pay them.
Yeah, fabulous. I wanna be an Ambience girl. I could have been one.
Me
Damn.
too. Yeah, I would love that would be a great job, but yeah, I think my years as an ambience girl have
Oh,
gone
no, they're
by.
long gone for me. They're long gone. Long gone.
But guess where you can also get a lot of gossip? At the playground. They should have ambience moms. Just being like
Oh my god, there is so much
the
gossip.
nannies. I don't know how it is in Lyon, but in Paris, the nannies talk mad shit about the parents at the park.
Ooh,
And I found the Latin corner at my local park, which is all the Latina nannies, which I don't know if they know I speak Spanish, but I hear them and I'm like, oh my God, they're talking so much shit about all these families. I'm
like
living
taking
for it.
notes.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
it's
like,
so
okay, let me
good.
make sure I don't hire this girl. She's gonna talk shit about me too.
No, it's quite good, the gossip in the playground, and
Yeah.
between the nannies and the bosses, I'm always getting all the tea, which I love. So, guys, make sure to follow Danny Clashist.
Thank you.
Excellent pod. Her Substack, guys, is you're doing the Lord's work. Okay, you're doing the
It's
Lord's.
I it was dormant for about a year and now I'm like now I locked it and now I'm like really putting like I'm trying to do all the things that I had said I wanted to do. And so I'm trying to at least publish one thing a week, maybe two. So I think it's gonna be good. So yeah, subscribe.
Yeah,
This is probably about food.
this is probably about food. I'll put it on the show notes so everybody sign up. And
Thank
we are
you.
also starting like a newsletter here. So I'm gonna try to get back into my writing as well in Spanish, maybe do some stuff in English for those English listeners. If you want more, let me know. And hit follow, leave us a 5-star review for both of us. And make sure you follow the show wherever you're listening.
Follow the show.
XOXO, Gossip Girls.
Bye guys.
Bye.